Hi all, and welcome to another Danish gambit lecture. Today I'm going to show you a game I played very recently online, October 2014 it is, and I was playing white against a player who was rated 1928 or something odd, 1930. Let's give him the credit. So the game began with me playing e4. My opponent played e5 and I played d4. My opponent took. I played c3. Nowadays it is becoming a fashion of not to accept the Danish gambit, because it seems that the black players feel that the white player must have come prepared with all the variations. So often I nowadays encounter variations where more or less they prefer not to accept it. So my opponent played Queen E7, and that's why this lecture becomes interesting, because this is a new line. Queen E7. Now black wants to avoid all the accepted lines. The right way for white to continue is c takes d4. My opponent took on e4, gave a check. Bishop e3 to stop the check. My opponent played knight f6. As mentioned earlier, it's white to play here. You should always move with an initiative. I'm sure that you must have guessed what I must have played. Knight c3 it is. My opponent very quickly responded bishop b4. The knight on c3 is thus pinned. I continued knight to f3. My opponent castled, and I played bishop d3 again with an initiative, and the queen moved to g4. Now if you notice, his queen has moved at least thrice. It's still move number 8 in the game, so this shows that white has been successful in gaining the initiative. If you look at the development, black really hasn't really developed his pieces, whereas if you compare it with the white's pieces, all the pieces are developed. The only thing left to do is castle. So that was the move I thought for a moment, but then I thought of a very interesting idea. I played h3. Now here is a very nice trap that you all should learn. The players of Danish gambit must learn. Of course, my opponent was a good player. He did not fall for it. He knew it very well, I suppose. Or I must say that he calculated well during the game. He did not take it. However, in the variation board, I'd like to show you. This is what happens if black queen takes on g2. Rook h2. Rook h2 is very powerful. The queen is trapped, believe it or not. The queen has nowhere to go. All the squares are taken away, and well, there is no escape route at all. The best move here is for black to take the rook, and so clearly white should go on to win the game. So my opponent did not fall for it, and so in the game he played queen to h5, and I decided to again play with an initiative. So I played queen b3, making him do something about this bishop. He thought of developing a piece and protect his bishop, so knight c6 was played, and now white has a decision to make here. White can castle king side as well as queen side, and I decided that my development was definitely better than black's, so I decided to castle long. So queen side castling, he immediately took my knight and I took it with the pawn, so b takes c3. In this position, he played rook e8, giving his rook an open file, and I played bishop to g5. The idea is very simple. The idea is not to attack the knight really, but is to hope for uh, the move g4, and with the threat that it actually traps the queen. In the game, he played knight e4, and after knight e4, I played g4, queen g6, rook d e1. Now if you see, the principle is the pinned piece must be attacked. The principle is pretty straightforward. Now I'm just applying it. So attack the pinned piece. It's black to play. Of course, mind you, d5 cannot be played here because my queen controls the square. So he decided to attack my bishop. I simply defended it, bishop h4. And now, well, he is actually, and I'm very sure that he knows it's lost, but he tried playing a6. However, some computer lines suggest rook e6 is the best move, but he did not play that because he knew d5 was on. So he played a6. This driving away this knight is important. I played d5, and when that knight was pushed back to a7, I put my queen on c2, and he resigned here because the knight is attacked thrice, and there is no possibility of any more defense to the knight, so he resigned in this position. However, I want you to understand, this is the very reason why white prefers to play the Danish gambit. If you notice the development of black, is this rook here is not doing anything at all, this bishop is not doing anything at all, the knight is pretty clumsy. This is the reason why white prefers to give the pawn away at the beginning to gain rapid advantage in development. And there's another thing to point out. During the game, after he resigned, we did analyze this. I analyzed with my opponent, and then a very interesting idea came up. There was a nice trap that he avoided again on this particular move. If you see here, black would try to play d5. Black would like to play d5 definitely, but on the variation board, if you see, if he plays d5, then g4 is very strong. It's just very strong, almost it's the end. The best move then is probably to sacrifice his bishop, and of course queen takes, and something like this, and the queen is trapped. Well, yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing. So all in all, it was an excellent game where the new line was tried, but still white holds on pretty well. I hope you've enjoyed the lecture. You're free now to copy the moves and study the game. Thank you.